god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Oh my god.
What's up, guys? I've hit the 1300 next KC milestone, which was good enough for rank 13 as of August. Now, my attention is shifting to Raids 3 because that will be releasing in about 30 days from now. And if I want to do it on my UIM, which I absolutely do, I've got to be prepared. So let's get started. Very unfortunate story. I thought I had enough Tithe Farm points for another seed box. I have 100 points and the seed box costs 250. Not quite sure how long this will take me, but I am once again asking for your moral support. 5 hours of fun at Tithe Farm later, I have finally managed to get my hands on a seed box, which is going to be absolutely essential for the next phase of my plan. I'm here at the Master Farmers putting my shiny new seed box to use. I am running low on some potions and I need to build up my stack before the new raid drops. My absolute biggest requirement is super restores, followed by brews and also ingredients for super combat potions. So I'm going to see what I can round up with a few hours here at Master Farmers. I'm deep into pickpocketing now, and I just want to quickly show you guys the method that I'm using because it's brand new and it's a super big quality of life to thieving Master Farmers. Renlight recently released an update where you can right click by holding shift and reorder whatever the left click option that you want is. So I have set my left click option to pickpocket Marvin the Master Gardener, or Martin, sorry buddy. And then over on my main account, I'm doing something. If you didn't know, you can talk to an NPC and go through a few dialogue boxes. This is the one you have to get to with Martin, and then click under your character. And Martin will continuously think that he is in dialogue with your character, and effectively he's frozen. He will never move, which means that on my UIM account, I can just spam away for hours if I want, of course having to stop to drop seeds. But I don't have to worry about him respawning or moving or any of that nonsense. I can just sit here and AFK while I watch Twitch or whatever. The seed stacks are climbing up quite a bit, and I'm just not getting quite as many Snapdragon seeds, which is the main seed that I need, as I was hoping for. So the advice from my friend Urig didn't quite pan out. Master Farmers may not be the best way to go. Waiting for my farming timers to tick up, I figured this would be a good time to go ahead and alch the bolts that I've gathered from Corp and from Nex. So let's go ahead and alch those and see how much GP we get. 700 alchs later, and I am a cool 6.2 mil richer. I've kind of run out of activities to do in between farm runs, so I think I'm going to stack some easy clues just for the collection log, maybe a chance at some fashionscape like the skull cape, and we'll see how many caskets we can stack while I'm dealing with, well, there's not many seeds left in my inventory right now, but if you check out the seed box, these will take me a few days to go through, so maybe I can stack up, 25 or 30 easy clues, maybe more, we'll see. Absolutely colossal level coming in right now, because that allows me to make super combat potions, which is going to be huge for Raids 3. It's probably the biggest herblore level for a UIM. Very, very happy to hit that milestone. This is my loot from about a week of processing herb seeds from Master Farmers. As you can see, it's a decent amount of prayer potions. The others are a little bit lackluster. The super restores especially, only 255 doses after about a week of work. That's really not good at all. I think I'm gonna have to try some other strategies because this is what I need most for Raids 3. So we're going to try out some neck reels, we're gonna try out some other content, and hopefully something is a bit faster. Next up, we've got these easy caskets to open. I'll save you guys 15 seconds. It was all absolute garbage. Another thing that I need to take care of is using up some of my items from my looting bag. As you can see right now, my looting bag is completely full, and that is not going to be acceptable for Raids 3 PVMing. So I think what I'm going to do is a little bit of Slayer, which will hopefully get me some of the Snapdragon seeds that I'm looking for, among other things, including 95, hopefully. And let me grab myself a task, and we'll see if it can be something cannonable, because the first thing that I want to use up is this 10k cannonball stack that I got from Corp. Mr. Durdle, give me something good, please. Bloodveld. Alright, I can absolutely cannon those. I will take that. This is my Slayer setup for Bloodvelds, by the way. So the next time that you think about starting UIM, I want you to remember this inventory and ask yourself, do I really want to start a UIM? That is a big one, my friends. Oh, why did it disappear? Come on, man. You saw it, though. There was proof. 95 Slayer, that unlocks Hydras. I'm not going to be going there anytime soon, but eventually I would like to get the Claw. By the way, I just started using the Ash Sanctifier. This automatically scatters any ashes from NPCs that drops them. And if you have the Elite and Kebos Diary complete, like I think that's the only one that I have done, you get 100% XP, so this thing is super overpowered. Just to show you guys how much prayer XP I've gotten in the last few tasks, I've passively gotten 25k, and that's just from reanimating a few heads and scattering ashes with the Ash Sanctifier. Pretty nice for UIMs, definitely going to use it more going forward. 10k cannonballs all used up, managed to get ourselves to that 95 Slayer mark, as well as a few seeds here. Got 5 Snapdragons, 6 Quorum, both of which I need very badly, and a Torstal, which I need for my farming contract. Think I'm going to park myself here at Necrills for a little bit to try to build up the Snapdragon stack. I'll probably stay until I've either stacked up 10 hard clues or maybe 1000 KC. We'll see how I'm feeling, but this is going to be my home for a little bit. Real quick, if you guys want to see regular uploads of my Endgame UIM content, could you please let me know by leaving a like and checking that you're subbed? If you want to go the extra mile, you could also drop a comment down below for me. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. I'm about 600 KC deep into the Necryl grind. The seed stack is looking real nice right now. Snapdragon's coming along great. But honestly, I'm a little bit burnt. I've been there for like 6 hours, so I think I'm going to change it up and do a little bit of Gauntlet. I already have pretty much everything minus the pet here. Wouldn't mind another enhanced seed, but I'm actually going to attempt some combat achievement tasks just because, well, I haven't really knocked a lot of these out. So I'm going to start with the normal Gauntlet, and then we'll start checking off the rest of the corrupted Gauntlet. The first task I'll be attempting is actually an Elite Tier 3 in 1. I'm going to try to combine the tasks, defeat the boss with no more than 1 upgraded weapon, a Tier 3 set of armor, and not using a prayer restore potion the entire run. Let's see if I can do it. Little 3 for 1, baby. We will take that, and let's see if we're rewarded with anything good. Probably not. Definitely not. But you know what? 3 tasks in 1 go. That's pretty cool. Following up the 3 for 1 with the master task this time. Defense doesn't matter. In this task, I had to defeat the boss without equipping any armor. And while this run is rolling, I do want to quickly address the combat achievements. Here's the deal. I like to think I'm decent at old school PvM. With my current skill set, I think I have the chops to complete the Elite tier and most of, if not all of the Master tier. The Grandmaster tier is where it gets tricky. Some of the tasks on there are absolutely above my current abilities. Perfect Hob, Inferno Speedrun, and Melee Inferno are 3 of the big ones that I'd have to improve in order to be able to complete. With that in mind, I'm going to be working towards the Elite and Master tiers, and depending on where I'm at when I'm done with that, I might consider Grandmaster someday, but that is going to take some work. Perfect Unlift, the normal version. Already have the corrupted version done. Do we get rewarded this time? No. Dude, that was the worst run ever. I absolutely did not deserve that. But one more master task done. There's another master task done. That was the tier 3 set of armor in the corrupted gauntlet. Not gonna lie, that one was kind of tough. And the final non-speedrun task, corrupted gauntlet completed without any armor, and on the second try. Not bad. Okay, think that's my 5th, maybe 4th enhanced crystal seed. That one is going to the main for sure. Let's take a look really quick. Okay, there we go. Yes, it was number 5 in 615 KC. Yes, I'm incredibly spooned. And I'm happy to have 155 mil go into the main. This might seem like a really random place to be right now, but I made myself a Ring of Wealth because it helps to pick up all the coin drops from Necryls while I'm grinding those. And I noticed that there's a Master Stash unit that takes a Ring of Wealth, a Cape of Legends, and a Death Tiara. Obviously, I have the Ring of Wealth, the cape is super easy to get, and if I can get my hands on a Death Talisman, which is a 1 in 128 from Dark Beasts here, then I could go ahead and create the stash unit and maybe slightly increase my chances of completing a Master Clue. Yes, after only 64 kills, we got the talisman. That should be good enough for the stash unit, so I need to make this into a tiara, and we should be able to go get that master stash created. Here's a fun fact for you. I obviously have to go to the Death Altar, and in the Underground Pass, in this little dwarf area down here where you fall from the agility obstacles, there's a crack, and you can use this crack to get to the Death Altar. Also, unpopular opinion, Underground Pass is a very fun quest. Yes, I am not joking. I do not understand the hate for it. You can tell me what you think in the comments. Absolutely praying that I didn't forget anything after trekking all the way through the pass. Let's build this master stash unit, and we should be able to store. All right, there it is. One more master stash off the checklist. It is finally complete. For some reason, Rinlight isn't updating, but we have cleared the 1,000 Nechril mark, and let's take a look at the loot that we've got so far. Obviously, you can see it over here, but just for a better seed view, 24 Snapdragon seeds minus a couple that came from Dagonoths, a few Torstal seeds, lots of Corms, which I need for potion stacks, and Toadflax, which is going to be more work for me at the Giant Mole. But this was a success. I needed lots of snap seeds and I got them. As of this morning, Raids 3 have been announced for either the 24th or 26th of August. I can't remember off the top of my head. So I've got to get going with this prep, but this was a big one to get checked off. I guess let's move on to whatever the next item's going to be. I know I'm supposed to be working on Raids 3 prep, but I have a Master Clue waiting for me and I want to try to see if I can do it. So let's hand over this medium clue and take a look at the Master. Follow the bard. All right, good step. Equip an abyssal whip in front of the abyssal demons in the Slayer Tower. I have an Abbey Demons task right now, so you know what? We'll do the task, and if we get the whip, we will do the step. Wait, no, I'm dumb. I have an abyssal whip stored in a stash unit. Okay, Drainer Village. If you didn't know, this is actually a really useful stash unit. You can stash a whip, a Legends Cape, and Spine Chaps right here. So yeah, that comes in handy, and I was about to go grind out a whole new whip. Yurik has made a special trip out here to bless my Master Clue casket. He's Mr. Third Age himself. I think he's the luckiest UIM. Let's see, anything less than Third Age or Bloodhound, unacceptable. Bruh. Cheeky little combat task coming in at the start of my mole grind. Hard Hitter, which is taking out the mole in 4 or less hits of damage. 280 mole KC. I think that's enough for now. I actually don't have all of my Toadflax in herb form yet, and what I mean by that is just that I have like a stack of 90 seeds somewhere in here, 94 seeds. So what I'm going to do is use this U-log stack that I've accumulated to do some birdhouses, which is pretty much going to be the first time ever that I've done birdhouses on this account, so we'll see how that goes. But for now, let's get the heck out of here. I've had enough Giant Mole. We will get to potion making. We've got lots of potions to make, but first I need to knock out a couple of quests. I'm going to do Sleeping Giants to round out, hopefully, 81 smithing, and then I'm also going to do Beneath Curse Hands because I realized that I haven't even done the quest that's required for the new raid. Well, that is the end of the Sleeping Giants quest. That was pretty quick and easy, although I have to say the UI for this minigame is a little bit confusing, but I'm sure it gets easier with time. With that one knocked out, I'm going to grab my items and then head over to do Beneath Curse Hands. Jesus, dude, that boss was, that was tougher than I expected. The first time I fought that boss, I got hit like a 77 and tellied out, and then I decided to death pile my items and bring a full inventory, because that was sketchy, man. I didn't even want to bring the Infernal Cape just in case I wiped and couldn't get back to my items. But anyway, we made it through. The quest was okay. I just spacebarred my entire way through, so I have no idea about any of the lore for this quest or Raids 3. With that said, we should hopefully complete the quest right here. Beneath Curse Sands is all wrapped up, and I have got some potions to make. Oh, look at that. I completely forgot. 93 farming, and that gets us one level closer to the big 2100 milestone. Small point of interest here, but I am using all of the sapphire rings that I get from Bird's Nest to make them into rings of recoil. Oh, I have the wrong runes right now. And anyway, I'm using those rings of recoil to charge my Ring of Suffering. It can store up to 100,000 charges, sitting at 98,500 roughly right now. I'm hoping that I'll be able to fill it up over the course of going through all these Bird's Nests, but we'll find out. This is just a little peek into what making brews on a UIM looks like. It's a ton of clicking, dropping, and picking stuff back up, all while you're trying to juggle seeds that you get from nests, jewelry that you might want to keep, and running around to do farming contracts. Basically, it's a total mess. There's the big 100k charges, and my OCD has been satisfied. One of the many potions that I'm working on making is stamina potions, and the secondary for these is amylase, which can only be purchased by trading in Marks of Grace. It's kind of a meme at this point, but this 20-second clip that you're watching took me 20 hours. But I finally have the marks that I need to buy my amylase packs, so let's head over to Rogue's Den and get those purchased. Here we are, carefully spending my hard-earned marks on amylase packs, not a bunch of graceful boots. Well, that was an unexpected level in the middle of making my super restores, but 91 Herblore coming in. Total level is getting up there now, getting very close to 2100. This is it. This is the last one. Well, sort of. I'll explain in a second. But with this 33 doses of Super Restore, this is what we've gathered from around 3 weeks of farming and making potions. A lot of effort. Not a bad yield here. Not too bad. Could be a little bit better. I've got some Torstals to add here. The very last stage that I have to do is make my super strengths, super attacks, and super defenses into super combats, since that's something that we can do now. To be honest with you, I have absolutely no idea how to do that. I think it has something to do with the potato sack, but I'm going to have to figure that out. So give me a minute and we will get those made. Ladies and gents, I've been thinking. I have had the red Bofa since I got it, since it was released. I think it's time for a change. I think I'm ready to switch it up a little bit. The only question is, which one of these beautiful colors should I go for? And you know what? I think I'm feeling green. So, actually, I better check the price of this. Okay, 500k. It's a little pricey, but we're going to do it. We're going to switch it up here. Let me recolor the Bofa, and actually let me give you a little before and after view right here. So this is the default corrupted color. Looks really good in my opinion. And then let's go ahead and recolor it green and see how it looks. Recolor the Bofa, yes. Oh, there's even an animation. Fancy. There it is, green Bofa. I like it. You might be wondering why I'm geared up right now, by the way. I need to make my super combats, as I mentioned, but since I needed to take all my items out of my death bank and re-death bank anyway, I figured I'd do a couple Bandos trips, maybe for both the combat achievements, and then I also need to get a Bandos item, either the tassets or the chestplate, so that I can dissolve it to make my Torva helm. I don't want to use the existing Bandos that I have right now because, well, I won't have a replacement for that armor since I don't have a Torva chestplate or legs. But I'm going to be looking for a Bandos item. By the way, I will be attempting the mage method, and the reason for that is because there's some combat achievements around freezing Bandos, and this is basically the setup that I'm going with here. I'll grab some different boots and a blessing and a different cape, but this is what we're going to try to use. So hopefully it works out. I've literally only done melee Bandos before, but yeah, we'll give it a try. This is Zorte from the future. Mage Bandos is absolutely awful. 0 out of 10. I do not recommend. I did get the Org Freezer combat task completed though. On a completely unrelated note, I do want to say that I ran into so many of you during my Raids 3 prep who came up to say hi or tell me that you watch my videos. You guys really make my day, and you made this whole grind so much more bearable. So I just want to say thank you, and I appreciate you guys for watching. Virtual defense level. There was a time when Bandos and God Wars Dungeon in general did not have private instances or instances that are separate for Iron Men. I did my original Bandos grind about 2 years ago, I guess maybe 2.5 years ago at this point. It was pre-COVID. And in order to get a Bandos world, because every single world was full almost 24/7, I would have to get up at 5 in the morning before work. I was going into the office back then, and I'd have to do like 2 trips of Bandos every single day at 5 a.m. in order to be able to find a world. That was the level of dedication I had to do to get my Bandos items. Took a couple of months, and we finally got it, and I was so relieved and never looked back. And then they've released the private instances since then, which definitely makes Bandos a lot easier, and God Wars for UIMs in general, but my god, I do not want anyone to have to suffer waking up early in the morning to find worlds like I did. Pull up a chair, boys and girls. I'm about to learn you a thing or two about how to make super combat potions on a UIM. In order to do this, we need to manipulate our inventory so that we always have 5 spaces open, and to do that, I'm going to use a sack of 10 potatoes and a sack of 5 onions. If I empty both of these, you'll notice it leaves me with 5 inventory spaces right now. So I'm going to unnote my super defense potions, fill the sack. It will take the smaller amount, so it'll fill with 5. And then that leaves me 5 spaces for my super strengths. And finally, I'm going to fill this sack and empty the sack, and it'll leave me with 5 spaces for my super attack potions. And then when I fill my second sack one more time, I have 5 torstal spaces that I can unnote and use on my potion stack to make myself a whopping 5 super combat potions. In case you haven't noticed, this is pretty tedious. I've been at this for a little over 35 minutes and I've made 180 potions. Granted, I have stood around a couple of times. But once you make your 5 potions, you have to make your way over to Mr. Bob Barter over here, decant down to a lower dose amount, and then decant back up to 4 doses, and that'll reset your inventory. Your inventory does need to be set up like this because the amount of inventory spaces that you have open is very precise, but that's how you make super combats on a UIM. You know, it's methods like these that really make me appreciate playing a UIM. Obviously, when you hear Ultimate Iron Man, you think about being locked to 28 inventory spaces, but it's honestly more than that. It requires so much creativity and ingenuity. It's like experiencing a fresh take on RuneScape for the first time again. And if you ever burned out of the game and you want to try something different, I honestly can't recommend it highly enough. There's the end of the super combat potions and also the end of a 3 or 3.5 week journey. It's been a long time. The very last Raids 3 prep thing on my to-do list is 2 parts. I need to get the smithing requirement, which is going to be 85 with the +5 boost in order to make my Torva helm into a normal Torva helm. And I'm also going to need some Bandos components to dismantle, so I'll need to be headed back to Bandos. I think I'll probably tackle smithing next. Here's the goldsmith methods for UIMs. Normally, you have to put money in the coffer in order to use the blast furnace worlds, but we don't like that so much, so instead what I do is buy gold ore from the shop downstairs, put it on the conveyor in a non-blast furnace world, hop to a blast furnace world, and then that will auto smith the gold for free. I think I was getting around 150k per hour, but RuneLite wasn't tracking my XP due to the world hops, so that's just my best guess. Of course my OBS froze right as the level came in, but I just hit a massive milestone being 2100 total. My next skill goal will be getting that hunter level up to 80, which will give me base 80s for the first time ever on any account. But for now, I've got some more smithing to do. That marks the end of a very tedious grind. About 6 mil and 3 days of work, and we've got 85 smithing out of the way. I can now +5 boost to make my Torva. The last thing I need is some Bandos components, so you know what's next. Here we are at the General himself. I am hoping to complete my very last item on my Raids 3 to-do list, which is of course getting those Bandosian components, which I can get either by breaking down a set of tacets or the chest plate. I'm going to try out the 6-0 BOFA range method, which I have never tried out before. Hopefully it goes better than the mage method that I tried a while ago. Doesn't take a whole lot more to go better than that. Master combat task completed. At least I think it was a master. That was Org Freezer without running a single freeze. So clearly the BOFA 6-0 method is definitely the way to go for that task. Checking back in, once again I've died at Bandos. I think this is like my 4th death in 82 KC, but you know what? We're learning the Bofa method. It's going pretty good. I'm getting consistent at it. Sometimes you just get off cycle though, and it kind of screws everything up. But currently I am using blood barrages to heal on the minions occasionally after I clear the main boss. But I have this handy dandy blood fury here, and I figured I could probably use that to heal on the minions and get some HP back. And then that way that would free up my rune pouch to be able to use thralls. So I'm going to send some trip with thralls, see if it goes a little bit smoother, and I'll let you guys know. Yet another combat task completed here. This one was finishing Bandos when none of his minions were present in the boss room. I definitely recommend thralls for this task. Yes, there's the chest plate that I need to repair my Torva. Let's get this thing made. Here's an updated look at the bank. We're sitting at just under 1.6 billion. I would definitely have that if I pulled more items out of my stash units and some different wealth locations across the game. But very nice overall. It will drop a little bit with the Bandos chest plate getting dropped off of the account, and then longer term I'll probably drop the face guard off as well, because the pros of the Torva helm just very much outweigh the negatives, and there's not really a reason for the face guard unless for some reason it happens to be super powerful at raids 3. So if not, that's going to be going over to the main to free up a bag slot, but let me pull out this broken helm and we'll figure out how to repair it. We are here in the next prison. We have got our Bandos chestplate ready to sacrifice here. I believe what's going to happen is I can just use it on the forge, and I require more inventory space. We're back with more inventory space. We're going to get 3 components. Let's make the Torva full helm. I think we probably just have to use this on the anvil. Need a smithing level of 90. Am I going to need a hammer? All right, we get to walk back one more time. Jagex, please. I just want to wear my new helm. There it is. Okay, we got the boost. Yes, let's make it. We've got it. I'm excited. Let's put this on. Oh man. All right, we got it. You know what? Let me grab some better Fashionscape real quick. Oh yeah, that's much better. This makes me one of the few UIMs with Torva right now. Hopefully we can collect the rest of the set as well. Who knows? The next stop for this account though is going to be Raids 3. Maybe I'll see you there on release day. And with that said, please consider leaving a like and a sub if you made it all the way here. Thank you so much for watching.